Hey guys, welcome back to the 32nd episode of Let's Play Space Engineers as a German engineer. I'm Daniel, I've been born and raised in Germany, and I've been living and working as a software engineer in the San Francisco Bay Area, Silicon Valley, for the last 10 or so years. Last time we explored the automatons beta a little bit. This time we want to go back to a regular world. I can't wait for the beta to be released as an actual release so we can start using these blocks in our actual Let's Play world. I don't feel comfortable moving the Let's Play world into the beta, so we won't have any access to the beta functionality before they fully release the update, I think. But I think we have enough stuff to do until then. So today we finally want to move the MMR. So let's quickly go over to the MMR and check it out and see like what the state is and what we need to do that. Okay, here we are at the MMR. So since we last moved it, we made significant changes to it. We added the decorative blocks and we added the landing pad over there. We added some of these blocks down here, like the overflow valve and what else? The antenna over here. So since we made a bunch of changes, this has definitely gotten heavier since we originally built it. So I don't just want to assume it is still going to fly. I think it will. I don't think we added too much stuff. But we should definitely check that it can fly. And I think we can... Actually, if we just look at the info screen, I think it tells us what the mass is, right? Yeah, grid mass. 832 tons. So I think if we look up what the lift capacity of these thrusters is, we should be able to just tell if it can lift or not. We'll go and do this in a second. But then the other thing that is important is this down here. So up until, well, this point here really, this height here roughly, this worked flawlessly. We didn't have any residue remains, anything like that. But down here it started leaving a trail, so to say, and it stands out as it didn't actually prevent the drill head from continuing to drill down, but I'm pretty certain that that we can't just like retract it again. Like it will get stuck on it, so we need to clean this here up. In the past, I had used voxel hands because it's really hard to get these little pieces with your hand drill. But apparently, and I'm going to try this, the large and small grid drills attached to ships are much better at cleaning this stuff up. So I will get my little mining vehicle probably and try to clean this up down here so that we can at least retract this piston again. I have two theories what might be causing this. Possibility number one is we introduce the overflow valve, and the overflow valve will turn off the rotor, but the rotor actually doesn't have any stopping power right now. So if you turn it off, it'll continue swinging along a little bit. I don't think that should cause a problem, but it might. So we'll change the rotor to have a reasonable amount of stopping power. And then the other thing is just it might be wobble. As these pistons extend, more and more wobble is introduced. And I'm not even sure if all of these pistons are on shear inertia tensor. This one is. We'll double check. And we might carefully turn that on. I have made bad experiences with turning on shear inertia tensors after the fact. But I think if we at least turn them on one at a time, we should be good. Yeah, so let's quickly check on the weight and the lifting force here first. So these have the large atmospheric thrusters have a thrust of 6,400 kilonewton. To lift 1 ton, you need 10 kilonewton, roughly 10 kilonewton on the Earth-like planet, that is. 9.8 technically, but 10 kilonewton of force. So this here can lift 604. Each thruster can lift 648 tons, and the total weight of this grid is 830 tons. So we should be able, with these 4 thrusters, to lift the grid, no problem. That's good. Let's get a little mining ship over to clean us up down here. Okay, I was able to remove a couple of the voxels here reasonably well. I think the voxel hands would be much easier, but I also don't want to cheap out here. So I'm gonna clear out these voxels here, at least enough so that I can retract the mining drill head here out of this hole again. Okay, let's speed through that and then get back to you once that's done. So, I've cleared out most of, I think, most if not all of the voxels right above the arm, so we should be able to lift it up. Let's fly up there and give that a shot. So let's see, I think we want to get the pistons and reverse them. We might need to... Are they off, though? Yeah, let's turn them on. We might want to increase the speed on them because they're quite slow right now. Doesn't seem to be moving. This one here is damaged. I'll fix that later. It is possible that they don't have enough impulse here to actually lift. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna increase the impulse a little bit to 100k. Let me also fix this rotor here quickly. So I think we should be clear of any voxels.
Low.
Oh no, I need to get out of here.
Fuel critical.
Ooh! Don't want to get stuck in there without fuel. Let's quickly check that the pistons are empty. I'm pretty sure if they were... if they were filled with inventory. Sorry, not the pistons. The drill heads. They are empty. I guess I need to increase the impulse even more. 100k? Like the bottom piston at the very least should retract, right? Like maybe the top pistons don't have enough power to retract the head, but something else is going on. Something else is going on. Definitely. So the piston down. They are set to retract. Oh, no, this actually, it did move a little bit. So maybe it's, I just need to up higher speed. This just, oh, I did the wrong direction. There you go. Okay, it was just way too slow. Okay. So we fixed the rotor lock. We retracted the pistons. Sorry, with rotor lock I mean the stopping force. We checked the weight was good. We need to fix this one drill head, and we actually need to add another drill head back, because we had to remove one at some point when this whole rig kind of slipped. So let me quickly do this and then get back to you in just a few seconds. So I've repaired the drill. It wasn't actually the drill that was broken. It was one of the lights, but I added the last drill on top. I think we need a couple of items on our toolbar here. We need to make sure that our thrusters are on. Let's quickly see if they are on. Our thrusters, they're all off. Okay. Let's get a second toolbar going here for the flight. Our thrusters, toggle on off. And then we need two magnet plates, right? We need a group for these. Switch lock. What else do I need? I'm not messing with the batteries. The batteries are on. I want to turn off the refineries. I mean, they shouldn't be running, but I want to make sure that they don't run. And also the assemblers. Let's put them in a group. Okay, so let's turn the assemblers off and the refineries. And turn on the thrusters. Okay, and then unlock. There we go. And we're off. And we're flying! Woohoo! Let's see here. Can we turn very, very slowly only? But it is turning, so I'll take that. Let's get ourselves like moving in that direction over there while we're turning. So I think my goal will be here to move it over to the COBALT. Make sure to not crash it in the ground. And then land it over the COBALT. Is the ore detector on? So right now I don't see. I guess we're still. One of these two holes here is the COBALT. I'm not sure which one. Let's quickly double check if the ore detector is on. It is on. Let's increase its range. So there's silicon, there's silver, and there's cobalt. So cobalt is a little back here. So I want to get it right above the cobalt. There. And I do want to try to align it with peak gravity. The reason I want to align it to peak gravity is the better I align to peak gravity it is, the less I will have to worry about the landing pad, the less I need to correct that later. Let's get the horizon as straight as possible. And so these landing gear, or the magnet plates, they are on auto lock, right? Let's double check that. Yes, they are on auto lock. I think we should be able to just carefully come down here. And then this landing gear should lock. There we go. And so this is now, I know it looks a little bit funky and awkward because it's kind of like hovering in the air almost. But thrusters are off. Let's turn on the equipment again. So this is now aligned with peak gravity. And this means that if I just return these to a neutral position essentially, then this will also be aligned to peak gravity, which should make it easier to dock and undock the drones. Let me return the drills to a proper speed. And when I say the drills, I mean the pistons. Okay, so we'll let this run. This should hit the cobalt down here eventually. I am a little bit surprised right now. Where did I... Because I thought I already dug for cobalt up here. Maybe I... See, this is where I got the cobalt from? I guess, yeah. So maybe it's a really big cobalt patch here. Or I'm gonna miss it. If we miss it, then we'll have to move it again, I guess. Okay, then let me quickly re-blueprint this. Okay, it's blueprinted. It's running. Let's get the drone set up again. We'll need to make sure that it reach this point. Eventually, we will definitely put a beacon on here, and then make it so that the drone will be able to dock to this regardless of where the MMR is. This is actually really cool with the new AI blocks, right? We can record a path that is relative to the position of the MMR. So we can just have the drone fly to the MMR regardless of where the MMR is. So if we move the MMR in the future, after we have AI blocks, we won't actually need to reprogram the path of the drone at all. It'll just fly straight to where the MMR is, no problem, and dock, no problem, and then fill up. And then with Event Controller, we can make it so that when the drone is filled or is filled to a certain percentage, that will send it off. It's actually a pity that the Event Controller doesn't have the ability to do like by weight, right? It's only by percent cargo filled, but that's fine. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to a bunch of updates to all of my structures, the MMR, the printer, the base, as soon as we get automatons in the base game. But we'll need to get material off of the MMR before that. When I built the MMR, I was like, this thing is so big, this is crazy. Now after I've built the printer, I'm like looking at this and it's like, this is kind of claustrophobic. It's so funny. Let's get the drone set up. I'll get back to you once that's done. Okay, so I set up the new waypoints for the drone, and the drone is currently flying back to the base. It should come back here and dock here and pick up whatever material we have ready here, which probably won't be any, but that's fine. Let's have the drone come in here and see how it does, if it completes the trip back and forth, or if it just crashes. So yeah, it flew over here. It reached the approach point and is now returning. Since it's flying like really, really slow, I probably want to have another point somewhere here and somewhere over there that excuse me, that I will only use for for increasing and reducing the speed, so that it will actually speed up and try to get to the base a little bit quicker. Because at the speed that it's currently traveling, it will require a lot of fuel just for kind of keeping it in the sky once it's fully loaded, and so traveling faster will reduce the overall power usage. So we'll have to charge less. But like once we have event blocks, obviously, like we can just make it charge until it reaches like 80% or whatever charge, and then we don't have to worry as much. At least not that it will drop out of the sky. It will just travel as fast as it can without it ever reasonably running out of battery. I hope that having this the MMR gravity aligned will help with the landing here and make it less likely to destroy everything. That was definitely a problem we had before. are starting to process some stone. Slowly but surely. I'll let this run for a little bit, make sure that it works properly. I did have another theory on what might have caused the irregularities in the dugout over there. I did put this detector on the piston arm at some point, and I wonder if that causes it to bounce around more. I don't know why that would be the case, but I did do that at some point, and maybe it started right afterwards. I don't know. So if we're seeing irregularities from the beginning here, I will take off the ore detector to see if that helps. Well, yeah, now we just need to wait until it digs all the way down to the cobalt, and then our cobalt problems are solved. Yeah, let's let this run for a little bit longer. Okay, so this is running well. I didn't see any artifacting, any problems so far. So I'm just gonna let this run. I did add 2 more refineries and stack them as speed blocks, speed modules, because the refineries were not able to keep up with the amount of stone that was being produced. They do now. In fact, all the speed modules might be a little bit too much. But that's fine. I'd rather have the refineries not permanently run than not being able to keep up with the amount of stone that we're producing. The drone ship, I set up the route for the drone ship, and it's flying fine in theory. I even added a little kind of like a speed up section so that it travels a little bit faster. But it's still occasionally when it's landing here at the connector, will bump into the connector, and its connector will break. So I don't know if I need to what to do about that. If I need to put a welder somewhere to automatically weld that up when it happens, or if that's because this here is on these hinges, and then there's a slight misalignment still. I don't know. I don't know what is causing it. I tried to align these hinges as well as possible. This one is a little bit off the 315, which it should be at. But this is basically level with the MMR, and the MMR is basically level with P gravity. So maybe the new AI blocks will be a little bit better, but I'm kind of afraid that they will still struggle with this landing procedure. The only thing that I can The only alternative is to not have it. Could be to move the connector, right, and not have it connect by vertically landing, but by backing up, for example, and having the connector in the back. That might work, and might not be because there's no because there won't be any gravity pulling in that direction. It's less likely that the ship will kind of just bump into the connector, because right now the ship not only needs to kind of like maneuver its own acceleration, right? It also needs to counteract the planetary gravity, which might cause it to bump into this connector so hard. But I've only ever seen this happen. I think I've ever only seen this happen at the MMR, which makes me believe it is a problem that's more with like the alignment of the ship than gravity itself. And I do believe that the AI blocks will have the ability to not align with pre-gravity, but align with the kind of like store in the waypoints, also store the alignment. And so it if I'm connected here to this connector, regardless of which orientation it is in, it should come back and try to align with that orientation and not bump into it. At least that's my theory, my hope. We'll see. In any case, I'll be able to set up relative points relative to the MMR, so I won't have to kind of reset up these waypoints again. Right now, I've stopped the drone to take a little break, charge up a little bit. But we can see if we look at the dashboard at the MMR, we are processing stone. The stone's not accumulating too high. Or iron, silicon, and nickel slowly but surely going up. So that's awesome. And if you haven't yet, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying it. I assume if you've watched it this long, you are enjoying it, so you should definitely give it a thumbs up. And then also check out the Discord and check out my Patreon. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Move the MMR to COBALT location. Done. Nice. Making progress. We're getting closer to getting our spaceship going. For now, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It greatly helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more like this, make sure to subscribe. I upload Space Engineers videos twice a week, and there's lots of other stuff to explore on the channel. And if you know people that might enjoy this video too, please make sure to share it with them. It's the best way to help the channel grow. Thanks a lot for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.